Chapter 16, Section 3. This is some various ways that we can use heat. The first are in heat engines, and we briefly talked about those in the last video. There are two types, external combustion and internal combustion. The external combustion engine is an engine that burns the fuel outside of the engine. So think of a steam engine as your example. An internal combustion engine is where you have the fuel burning inside the engine, which is your cars today. Central heating is when you have heat from one central location that supports many different rooms, and you can have various sources, so electrical energy for this, natural gas, oil, or coal. Hot water heating, so you start with a boiler. You're heating oil or natural gas, and it's burning and heating water. And then you have a circulating pump in that hot water heater that carries the hot water to different radiators, and then those radiators transfer heat by conduction. Once it goes through conduction, it's radiated through the pipes and into the air of a room. According to convection, hot air rises, and then after cooling, it's transferred back down, and the cycle begins again. Another way is steam heating. It's very similar to hot water heating. We're just using steam instead of hot water. You usually will see steam heating in older buildings or if you have a central heating area. Not so much more modern homes. We also have electric baseboard heating. This was pretty big in late 60s, early 70s. This is run off of electrical energy. It starts with conduction. So it's similar to an electric stove, how you have electrical energy and it's converted into thermal energy. And you're using a hot coil. That coil is heated, and once it's heated, by conduction, it heats the air around it with the radiation. So after it has heated the air, convection occurs, the warm air is circulated. Radiant heaters, or what we call space heaters, work the same way as electric baseboard. We have forced air heat. This is you have fans that are circulating air through ductwork. Convection is happening here, so your warm air is again being circulated. Then we have heat pumps. A heat pump is a device that reverses the normal flow of thermal energy, so it kind of works backwards. So you have to have a refrigerant to have a heat pump. And again, you have to have work happening in order for heat to flow from a cold object to a hot object instead of the other way around. So when I say refrigerant, think about a fluid, so liquid or gas, that vaporizes and condenses inside the tubing of the heat pump. And where do you think you're going to see refrigerants? Refrigerators, right? A heat pump is in a refrigerator, and that's going to transfer thermal energy from the cold food compartment out into the warm room. So it's keeping that cold area cold. Air conditioners work the same way. You have an air conditioning system outside of your home that actually heats the air outside of that unit. So if you've ever been outside of your air conditioning unit and you've felt it when it's on, you actually feel hot air blowing out toward you while cold air is still being suctioned into the room. And that's it for examples of how we use heat.